Why, good morning. Today is Memorial Day. I had a great Memorial Day weekend hanging out with my family, but now I am back in Knoxville. Well, now I'm in Pigeon Forge. Today is also opening weekend for the Dolly Parton Experience, a refurbishment of the Adventures in Imagination area in Dollywood with some new Dolly Parton themed experiences that, from what I've heard, should be pretty cool. I know it's not 100%, something made for me because I'm not like a Dolly Parton fanatic, but I'm still interested to check it out. For crowd management, for the first couple weeks is open. You have to go online and register for a time slot. It's free. It doesn't seem like Disney and Universal where it's like impossible to get, a time slot or you have to book super far in advance. I looked today and there are still time slots available. You can book like the day before and maybe even day of. And it's just for the first couple weeks, just for crowd management, I guess, because some theme parks lately, particularly over in Europe, have had some issues with crowd management on opening days for new attractions. So I do kind of get it. So I'm entering the area at 10:30 here. And then once you're in, you are able to stay in as long as you want. But then once you leave, you can't come back in. And I think each person can register for 8 different entrances, I think. Not 100% sure on that. That's kind of how the website was worded. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully after the first couple weeks here, I will be well and the area will just kind of open up to walk through like a normal area. Especially since a lot of people use that as a cut through. It will be nice to have that back open. But let's go check it out. For the fact that it is Memorial Day, it is surprisingly not crowded here one bit. So look at this. But as you can see, it is very wet outside today because we had some huge storms come through yesterday. I was really hoping, oh my gosh, look at the drainage dish over there. Yeah, big storms. Luckily, it's not supposed to rain anymore today. Sun is coming out, so hopefully it'll start to dry up a little bit. I haven't been to Dollywood as many times as usual this semester. I think this is like my 3rd time-ish. Okay, sorry, I was mid-sentence, but I was about to cross this bridge. Look at that. Holy crap. Wow, that is a lot of stormwater runoff. Wow, man, it is about to come over this bridge. Jeez. So yeah, if you didn't believe me about the storms yesterday, there you go. So what I was saying was, I think this is like my 3rd time here this season, maybe 4th. Normally I would have been here a lot more by now. But every time I have been here, it's been raining or very wet. Actually, no, I think it's been raining every time. I think this is the first time it hasn't been raining, but it's still wet because it's rained a lot yesterday. And in fact, I don't think I've made a single theme park visit this year that wasn't raining, except for the 2 days at Universal I did back in March. I think just the Southeast in general has just gotten slammed with rain this spring. We are literally drowning. It's crazy. I swear it's been raining like 4 out of 7 days a week the entire spring, or since like February. It's nuts. It's only 10:16 right now, but I'm suddenly pretty hungry. I was actually pretty hungry before I pulled in here, but I wanted to make sure I didn't miss my time slot, so I didn't stop and get anything to eat. But again, it's about 10:15 right now. It's a 15-minute window, so I'll have between 10:30 and 10:45 to enter. So if, as some of the food stuff in Market Square is open, I might get something to eat real quick and see if I can bring it into the area with me. I assume they're not going to let any food and drink inside the buildings, but I don't see why they wouldn't let me bring anything in the area. We'll find out. Alright, they got a new sign and everything. I better go ahead and go get something to eat, maybe. As I kind of predicted, food's not open yet, but I got Mr. Pibb, so hopefully that's enough calories. Alright, we're walking up this way. Right now, during the timed entries, they have the other side kind of gated off, as you saw. So we can only enter through the Jukebox Junction side over by Lightning Rod. There you go, wall is down. All right, we just walked in. He said they've had a lot of cancellations due to the weather, so they're, at least this morning, not actually skidding, so you don't actually have to have. So I guess that's cool. Just to kind of get a lay of the area, there's the temporary queue space they've had set up there. Of course, not using today due to all the cancellations, I guess because of the weather. Here's where Dolly's tour bus now is. It looks like it's not open today, for what I can tell. There's another smaller Dolly Parton Experience sign. There's a bigger one on the other side. And here's behind the scenes is like the clothing one. Then over here is her general life story, which is Songteller. I could never remember the names beforehand, but now I have signs, so I can't pretend to not. The Dreamsong is actually kind of not part of this closed off area. It's part of the area, but you can go in there without having a reservation or anything, so that's cool. Then finally tucked around in this corner is a new Dippin' Dots stand. Heck yeah! All right, it's time to go discover what the new Dolly Parton Museum looks like, Songteller. As you can see, they have queue space outside for this one as well, but there's just nobody here this morning, so. They're just letting people in a little bit at a time based on how much people progress through here. So here we are. And they're also keeping the door closed between parties, which helps the climate control in here. Although the temperatures, it's not that hot outside today, so not a huge deal. It looks so good, I'm not gonna lie. They did a great job. And we're just in the like entry hallway. So this room's to look like the Greyhound bus she took to Nashville. That's cool. Alright, it's time to try out these Greyhound seats. Let's see how they are. Oh, surprisingly cushiony, very comfy. It'll be interesting to see how long they stay that way. Yeah, I love how they've done this space. It's very cool. Alright, I think I'm about to enter a bigger room and get a feeling. Oh, not exactly. Oh. Fancy, fancy.
No, but she's got chapels. There's
a photo up at the desk.
Oh, that's what I thought. Was Miss Congeniality too?
Oh. This was the last room in the old museum, so they've completely changed up the order, which is what I expected. But this looks really cool. I know it's just projections, but it's very cool. Yeah, I don't know why it's so cool. It just is. It's just, they have projectors up there. That's all it is. But it looks very impressive. Some records on the wall. Very cool. Alright, on to the next room, I guess. Together, you and I. So here's all the different people she's collaborating with. So you can see a key there. get it all in one shot. Wow. There's some interesting ones on here. I guess Elton John kind of makes sense right there. But like Pitbull? Okay, so that's over there. Oh yeah, I see it. All right, we actually have to back out now. We didn't get to finish. I'll tell you in a second. All right, just did some of Songteller, as you saw. I'm not really sure exactly how far through we got. So that room with the collaborations was the last room we got to. Then the next room was supposed to be some kind of immersive theater thing. According to the text in there, the building got struck by lightning during the storms yesterday, and it took out almost everything in there. So they've just been going through one exhibit at a time and getting everything back working again, and they were having particular trouble with the immersive theater, but they're really hoping they can have everything back online by the end of the day. So they just kind of told us to go back out the other way. They're just letting people through what's working right now. So I honestly don't know about how far through we got. As you can see, it's a huge building. So I'd like to think we were at about the halfway point, maybe. But it's hard to be exactly sure. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I guess we'll go see what's going on in behind the scenes now. All right, so this should be the clothing exhibit. I don't think there are many special effects here, so it should be working.
The challenge is in construction, and how do you make it happen? But these technicians, sculptors, who have to figure that out, that's where the hard part comes in.
And I'm the technical person, as a pattern maker, who kind of takes it from the...
It's going to be always going to be waste. It's always going to, have some detail in certain areas.
This is one of your addresses.
None of it is accidental, and Dolly has spent a great deal of time training me.
I am Cheryl Rowe. I have done Dolly's wig since 1985. I like flexing creative muscle.
It could be 80 degrees, it could be 35 degrees. You don't know this.
Oh, hey, look, it's a mirror as you exit. So when I look and press it. All right, exit to this side. Oops, there we go. Very nice. So Dippin' Dot's stand is back in this corner, which won't be the corner once the land's like actually completely open. But right now it's just back in this corner. I haven't had Dippin' Dots in a long time. Very tasty. I was also told the tour bus will not be open today because of the rain and everything. They don't want to like truck water into it. It's got to be dry for that to be open. It's apparently the reason. But I've been in there before a couple years ago, and I doubt that they've changed anything in there. They just moved the location. Like I said, it's there now. It used to be over in this corner where the queue space for Songteller is now. But yeah, that's about it. And of course, we have the new Dreamsong Theater, and there's a gift shop over there where the Time Saver booth used to be. That's now near the front of the park, but that's outside of the special ticketed area. Oh wait, there's more. As I was exiting, I noticed behind the gift shop, there are new restrooms. How exciting. I can't wait to check these out. Oh, Hello there. Literally nobody's in here, so it's fine. Look, they're like kind of themed restrooms-ish. At least they match the vibe. Very nice. Wait, are these still automatic? Yes. Very nice. Okay, yeah, they are tucked pretty far back there, but those are definitely, in my opinion, the nicest restrooms in the park now. I mean, they are 100% brand new, so you'd expect they would be, but they are. Look at all the stormwater runoff. That's actually not quite as much as there was earlier. All right, went ahead and left the area. I think I'm just gonna go back later in the day when Songteller is hopefully completely operational, so I can enjoy the area a little more. First impressions, I think they did a fantastic job revitalizing that area, and a fantastic job on the new attractions. The entry system and the way they have certain areas gated off is just really janky. The execution on that's not great, and you can definitely tell that the area was not meant to be experienced that way, but that's something that should correct itself within a couple weeks. All right, we got a jalapeno smoked sausage sandwich with no mustard sauce. It normally has a mustard sauce. I don't like mustard though, so. Also raspberry tea that looks really good. Looks not worth the price as usual, but looks really good. All right, let's see. Most of the time you see drinks like that at Dollywood, they're like very sweet, but that one's more like natural. So it's a little different than usual, but I like it. As much as I love how sweet some of them are, there's something to be said for them, a more natural flavor sometimes. That is amazing. So you can see the jalapeno cheddar is like in there. And it's a little bit spicy, but really not that much. And the onions are like marinated, they're like really sweet. So it's kind of a contrasting flavor. It's good, I like it. Again, we'll give it a while on going back into the Dolly Parton Experience so that they can fix Songteller. For now, I'll ride some rides, because, you know, that's what I do. And luckily, almost everything is a walk-on today. It's very empty for the fact that it is Memorial Day, but that's fine with me. Very nice. No line. It should be good. So it's about noon right now. I do want to be back over at Dreamsong Theater by 4:45. Well, it's a jump scare there. Have to be back at Dreamsong Theater by 4:45 because that's the last showing of, I forget what it's called, but the show that's in Dreamsong right now. So I do want to see how they've refurbished the inside of that theater. But that still gives us like 4.5 hours. And considering that there's no lines on like anything right now, I don't think it'll be that much of a pain to run all the coasters real quick, including the kiddie coaster. Let's see if I can do them all. Okay, so the 0 minutes was a little bit of a fib, but this still shouldn't be bad. Check that out. We got a bunch of new benches over here, new tables. These were not here like a week and a half ago. So that's cool. Still just a lot of water flowing through all these drainage areas through the park. But lightning rod. Wow. I had to wait about 7 minutes, which was not the 0 minutes I was advertised, so boo. For some reason, Dollywood's wait times this year have been just garbage in terms of accuracy, which sucks because they used to be some of the best in the industry, and now they suck. It was still a very short wait though, and what's important is that, again, it was running incredibly. I actually could not tell the lighter trains that run slower usually, could not tell. I don't know how much of that is the fact that it's warmer today. I don't know how much of it is the fact that the trains have broken in a bit more. I'm sure that we'll find out later in the season, getting into the fall and the winter when it starts to cool off. That'd be some muddy water right there, for sure. All right, I know I said all the coasters, but I'm gonna stop and get a ride on Daredevil Falls real quick because it's one of my favorite log flumes. I feel like I gotta enjoy it while it lasts. No line whatsoever here approaching the station, which is always super exciting to see. Love that. Just got off my second ride on Daredevil Falls, did 2 in a row. What a fantastic log flume. Probably like the most underrated ride in the park in my opinion. It was starting to form at least a little bit of a line, which does make me happy. Yeah, there were some rumors about that ride going away sometime soon, but during Smoky Mountain Coaster Fest last year, somebody asked about it specifically. We were told by Pete Owens that it would be sticking around at least until the end of 2026, the 2026 attraction. The concern was kind of that the 2026 attraction will be using that land. He confirmed it is not, so we'll have it at least through then, probably longer too, which is awesome. But also, I also don't see that ride lasting too much longer, which makes me very sad. It's just so cool. Log flume through the woods. Great concept.
May we have your attention, please, for an important safety announcement. Welcome to the Blazing Fury.
All clear. Fire in the hole.
This area right here always feels like it needs some seats or like something. Anyways, I just rode Blazing Fury and was admittedly a little bit disappointed. It's of course their classic indoor coaster, kind of very similar, almost the same as the old Fire in the Hole at Silver Dollar City. And I had been watching some of the coverage of the new Fire in the Hole it was a couple months ago at this point, but that always makes me excited to come back and ride the classic original version here. Well, today a lot of the special effects were not working, particularly in the first half. We went through the first couple of scenes. No sounds, no motion, no anything. Just nothing was triggering whatsoever. I could give them a huge benefit of the doubt and say that maybe it had something to do with the storms yesterday, like how apparently lightning struck the building at Songteller and took out some of their stuff, but I highly doubt it. I think they're just not working right now, which is always a huge disappointment, especially with the fact they got most things working near the beginning of this season. So I don't know. I wouldn't care quite as much if it was like a pure roller coaster or something, but since it is mostly a dark ride experience, the special effects are why you ride it, so you do need those things to be working. I do like that the park has done a pretty good job adding a lot of extra seating for a lot of areas. Like these benches here didn't used to be here, so that's very welcome. Oh, looks like Snow Tomato is up to a bit of a wait now. Hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully they got 2 trains on them. About a 15-minute wait, which wasn't bad, especially considering only 1 train, except the sign out front said 0 minutes. So, like, come on, y'all gotta figure this out. It's not that hard. But yeah, still 1 train. We know the second train's been, like, broken for most of the spring, although I did see it in the storage track with water dummies in it. I think every seat had a water dummy in it. So hopefully that means the second train will be ready to return to service pretty soon, hopefully, because there was one day this spring that the line was really bad with 1 train. We want to add to the list of strange occurrences today. Wild Eagle is closed. The B&M is closed. Of course, as usual, they won't tell us what's wrong, just that it's closed. I wouldn't be surprised if a tree fell up there or something. I don't know that, obviously, but it wouldn't surprise me. Not really feeling Fire Chaser right now. I'll go back and do it if Wild Eagle reopens later today. For now, I'm going to head back to the very back of Wildwood Grove. This is such a long hike. You see the ride here, but then you still got a long way to go. A long way. Oh, hey, look. It is running 2 trains today. That's great. I saw a wait time earlier, and that made me concerned. But no need for concern. Apparently, we're good. Also, the sun's really coming out. Things are starting to dry out. Good day. I do think the speed design is a little weird in that the last little section here is completely unthemed, which is what fills up first. So on days like today, you bypass all the food queue and just wait outside. It's a little bit of a strange decision in my opinion.
All adventurers must have upper body strength and control when entering upright in the seat during accelerated right turns.
Unbelievable, man. All right, I gotta run it again because the onboard audio is only working on one of the trains, so boo. I gotta keep going till I get the one that has the audio because I got the one that did not have the audio. It took me 5 rides in a row to get the train with working onboard audio. Screw that ride. It just feels so naked without the audio. It's still fun, but like it was obviously an experience made with the music, the onboard music in mind. So, you know, hopefully that's not a huge issue going forward, considering the ride is only a year old, and it seems like every time I come there's some kind of issue with the audio already, so it's not a good sign. Okay, it's really hot now, and about 2:30, so I'm actually gonna go see if I can get the 3 o'clock show, Dreamsong, and check out the rest of that area. Hopefully actually working now. We'll see. Oh yeah, this shade is fantastic. Built character. But we got about 30 minutes till that show, so time to make a stop in the ice cream parlor. Oh yeah.
Before we take a little break, and we'll be back here in just a little while.
Alright, so we're entering all the way, you can see the sign here for the show, we're entering all the way at the left side of the theater. Oh, here's the Dreamsong sign. Very cool. Oh, so we're entering in these doors instead of the front doors. That's a little weird. I wonder if that'll change when the area opens. Oh, and there's your public transit. Here we are. I was told to go in too. Yeah, so nothing has really changed about this theater at all, really.
What do you do that for?
Ooh, out to a little balcony. I don't think I've ever exited out this side of the theater before. Interesting. Well, they have you exit right next to the Dolly Parton gift shop. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't, make you exit through it somehow. I guess we can just see what's in there just for fun. Dolly neon sign. That's what it is. Okay, so I think if you want to see Precious Memories, you just go through this main door. Yeah, there we go.
In the section, we've been in here 20 minutes and we haven't seen it.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think it's just here.
Well, growing up in the Smoky Mountains was really a blessing. I've always been so proud to be a Tennessee girl, especially a Smoky Mountain girl, because you had all the freedom, you had all the space, and all the beauty. I mean, what child wouldn't be fortunate to grow up like that? I really think that if you have faith, then you have hope. And if you have God, then you have everything. I think being brought up in the church really instilled that in me. And that has sustained me all of these years in everything I do.
Yeah, so Precious Memories worked a little different than I expected. That's the one that's in the Dreamsong lobby. I thought it would be, in the lobby as you're going in, but really they just moved the theater entrance, if you're watching a show, over to that other side there, and they've converted part of the old lobby into Precious Memories. You can kind of see the spot where the carpet changes back to wood. And they haven't changed any of the rest of that from what it was before. So it's kind of a weird conversion. I assume they'll go back and do the rest of it later. So they've got this like rope barrier between the theater entrance and the part of the lobby that's just, sitting there, I guess, to decay, and where Precious Memories is. I don't know. It's a little bit weird, but you enter through those main doors. It's just a nice air-conditioned space. You have those picture frame-looking TV screens on the wall, and they would transition between views of the Smoky Mountains and Dolly telling memories from her childhood. So it's kind of cool. It seemed like a kind of nice place. A lot of people just sat down on the carpets because it was very clean in there, presumably because it's brand new, but hopefully it'll stay clean over time. And it seemed like a cool place to kind of get out of the heat, cool off for a second, warm up if it's during the winter, and just kind of relax a little bit, which is something that's missing from, I think, the theme park environment a lot. There's really not much time, not much to do that's relaxing, so that's kind of nice. I heard another family say that they were in there for about 30 minutes and they never saw anything repeat, so it seems to be a very long kind of, I don't know if show is the right word. It doesn't seem to be something you're supposed to go in and watch all the way through. You just go in and watch little bits and pieces of it. I guess on different days you come to the park, which is kind of cool, but that also means I'm not going to go in there and record an entire, thing of the whole thing, but, So you can see Dolly's Home on Wheels now open, now that, it's sun's been out for a while, all the water's kind of dried up, which is good. And again, there's still no timed entries required today, just because it's not crowded at all. So it is, of course, always worth trying. If you weren't able to get a time slot, if the park looks pretty empty, at least go try. They may let you in anyway. And it's nice to see a decent number of more people here. And hopefully I'm going to be able to go all the way through Songteller in just a second. It looks like people are going all the way through now. All right, it looks like somewhat of a line has formed for Songteller here. They're letting people in a little bit at a time to not overcrowd the building. So I'm going to go join that queue now. Peter that was not working earlier. Okay. Butterfly. Oh, it's gone. Nice. Oh, all right. Here's the exit. That's it's very interesting. I'll tell you why in a second. Let's head on out. So I look really goofy with the sunglasses on for this clip, but the sun's really bright. But let me tell you what's interesting here. Songteller was wonderful. I'll talk more about it in detail in a second. But some kind of major shift in design philosophy for Songteller took place between last, I think it was November, and when it's actually opened now, which may have been why it opened so late and not with the park. So for those of you that are not familiar with Chasing Rainbows, which was the old Dolly Parton Museum that used to occupy this building that closed, I think at the end of 2021, 2022, somewhere in there. How that old museum was structured is you went in the store, you went to the left, and then you went up a flight of stairs, and there were some exhibits on like the beginning of Dolly Parton's life. Similar style, but much more 90s than what's there now. Then you would eventually round a corner, and then there'd be this grand reveal into this giant 2-story atrium in which you would come down the stairs into the center of the atrium and then kind of be free to walk around to different exhibits before going through the final room, which is where the guitar is now, and leaving. Obviously the structure now is completely different, which makes sense, but when this attraction was first unveiled, the Dolly Parton Experience, when we first got our more in-depth look at it, there was, and I'm gonna have a really hard time finding it now, but there was this concept art that showed the same grand atrium entrance thing with these kind of pink chandelier looking things hanging from the ceiling. Obviously said atrium is nowhere to be seen in the final version of Songteller here. In fact, you never even go upstairs in this version of the attraction. I assume that they're using the upstairs space for either storage or a cast break room, or maybe it's gonna be used for some kind of expansion later. I'm not sure, but you never actually go upstairs now. And again, no atrium. So obviously between the initial concept art and them actually constructing this, you know, something changed and they decided to go in a completely different direction. I guess that's not that entirely weird, though I do find that kind of thing kind of fascinating just because the old versions kind of become lost to time. It's the same thing with TV and media and video games. There's always those elusive original ideas or first versions that we never really see ever, which is just weird. But what's even weirder in this case is, if you go back to my construction updates from the end of the year last year, we could actually see through those main doors there when that whole area was busted wide open, they actually had those giant pink chandelier things that were supposed to go in that atrium, and they were installing them inside those doors. But as you just saw from me walking through there, basically twice, because the only thing at the end was that immersive theater thing, said large pink chandeliers are nowhere to be seen anywhere in the building. So it seems they got far enough with the original concept that they were installing some of the decorations before they decided to tear everything out and completely change course, which is just so weird to me. I mean, the final product here is fantastic, and I do think this was the way to go because that original concept art just seemed a little bit too similar to the original museum, and if you're already redoing it like this and giving it a whole new name and everything, might as well go all the way with a new concept. But still, just funny to me that they got that far before they completely changed course. But otherwise, sorry, I'm trying to hold my phone connected to a portable charger at the same time I'm doing this. But I definitely really liked the experience. Man, that is loud. Of course, as you saw, it kind of starts you walking through her life from the beginning to her fame, I guess. And throughout the way, there's some cool like little sets that you go through, like the Greyhound bus you took to Nashville and stuff, and plenty of photo ops throughout as well. It definitely felt like there was room in the experience for maybe one or two more of those larger sets. And then of course you had the immersive theater at the end, which was cool. And right before that, I really liked that guitar thing, that it was like projection mapped with some of her live shows on there. There's only 3 of them right now. It's cycled between Jolene, World on Fire, and Two Doors Down, but that's something where they can always add more later as time goes on. So we'll see if they end up doing that. Again, it did feel like a tiny bit too short to me, but I don't think that all the space in that building is being used right now. So they could always go in over like the off season and add in, you know, an extra room or two to the experience, because again, I think there's a lot of space in that building they're not using for this, but they may be using it for employee break space or storage or something else. I presume they are. But my point is there's room to put more stuff in here later if they do want to do that. But as it is right now, very cool and a much needed refresh for, I know Chasing Rainbows was getting quite a bit dated. Like I said, it was very 90s, which was kind of cool in some respects because, well, some of the best parts of Dollywood for a lot of people are the parts that haven't really changed since the 90s, but that's becoming less and less of the park as they're trying to push more into being a true destination park with modern attractions and experiences. And this is just another step toward that. And Lightning Rod's chain lift it's loud. It's still really weird. Yeah, you can't see it. You can't hold it at the right angle. It's fine. It's still weird to me seeing that ride without a launch. So weird. Hopefully we get another thrilling launch coaster sometime soon though. Alright, I guess I can go check out Dolly Parton's Home on Wheels, her tour bus over there, since it's in a new location. I doubt anything's really changed about it, given that it is just her authentic tour bus on the inside, but has opened back up, so I guess I'll go check it out. It's the only thing that really has a queue right now, but that would be because they can only let like 2 or 3 people in there at a time. Dishwasher. Wow. Thank heavens the air conditioner works in here. So I do think it's kind of funny that on this side of behind the scenes, you can see this just entryway where the door used to be, because this used to be a store, so you could enter from multiple ways. It's funny they didn't just put up a wall here. The entryway's still there. I decided I should have something other than ice cream in my system for this evening, so I decided to try this little panini thing. It's actually really good. You could use some chicken in there or something, but I guess I want to have some kind of vegetarian option. It comes with this kind of thick tomato soup dipping thing. Also got this blueberry lavender drink thing. Of course, all non-alcoholic because it's Dollywood, and it's really good. It's kind of like it's like Kool-Aid, but if Kool-Aid wasn't as strong of a flavor, kind of. It's really good. I wish these weren't so expensive. They're very overpriced, but they're good and they're fun, and you can't put a price on fun. Except they did. It's about $5.99. Alright, I just finished up eating, so I'm gonna take another ride on Lightning Rod now because it's running really good earlier today, and I'm excited to see how it is after it's had a whole day to warm up, and it's even warmer now than it was then, temperature-wise. Lightning Rod, man. I would love for them to come in and smooth out the transition from the wave turn into I think it's the twist and shout. I get the element names confused because it's RMC and they make no sense. But yeah, I do wish that they'd smooth that one transition out. And it would be a near perfect ride right now, even with the chain lift. Incredible. I miss the launch so much. I know it's just wishful thinking, almost fan fiction, but maybe one day in Drive Tech or Intrasys or somebody that actually knows how to make LSMs can come in. RMC can give it a steel truss structure to eliminate some of the structural shaking on the lift, and we can have the launch back. That will actually never happen. I'm just saying it right now, it will never happen. But maybe. I know I declared in my opening day video that Thunderhead was my new #1 in the park. I don't know. With how it's running now, I don't know. I think they're going to be fighting back and forth for that #1 spot throughout most of the season, and we'll see how it goes into the fall and winter, because I think Thunderhead doesn't really vary that much with temperature change, and Lightning Rod really does. So especially with the lighter trains, I think Lightning Rod is going to run not as good when we get into the fall and winter, whereas Thunderhead's still going to be hauling. So maybe Thunderhead gets bonus points for being a more consistent experience. But then Lightning Rod, of course, gets bonus points for how it runs in the summer, because it's just amazing. That airtime is so strong, and the way you're weaving through the woods is awesome. It's particularly great right now because they only trim the shrubbery around there like, I don't know, once or twice a year. And right now, since it is end of spring, beginning of summer, it's all grown out like crazy. So you're like diving in and out through the trees in such a way that you can't see most of the rest of the track. And it's like a head chopper with some of the tree branches over the track. You don't really get that when they've just trimmed, or when it's in like the fall or winter and all the leaves are off the trees. That's something you only get in the spring and summer, and it really elevates the ride experience. So that's the thing with Lightning Rod. It's much better during the summer, whereas Thunderhead's about the same throughout the entire year. So that's kind of where I struggle with where I rank the two. All right, this is apparently completely free to enter after 5 with no reservation. So I'm gonna go through some of these one more time. I'll go through Songteller one more time and not video anything, just kind of take it all in. I'll be right back. All right, the park closes in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna go see if I can ride a Thunderhead and Wild Eagle in those 30 minutes, because those are the two kind of have the biggest hunkering to ride at the moment. Since we just passed under it, I was really hoping to ride the train today because it was back up. It's been down for most of the season, but it was running today, so I meant to get on it. But I ended up not really having time, so I guess I'll do that next time I'm here. All right, time to take a trip on the wildest ride in the woods. It's first walking down the pass, so that's why I'm doing it first. Yay, it's a walk-on as expected. Everything's a walk-on. It's a very empty day today for the fact that it's Memorial Day. just love Thunderhead and Lightning Rod so much for such different reasons. It's so difficult to choose between the two. But yeah, Thunderhead do be running real good, so smooth. It's definitely a much smoother ride than Lightning Rod, hilariously enough, considering Lightning Rod's mostly steel track at this point. Yeah, Wild Eagle did reopen, so I guess there wasn't any down trees or anything up there, just some kind of technical issue. Very weird for that ride. It doesn't usually ever really go down, but it's all good. All right, I finished 2 rides on Wild Eagle. I went once in the front row, then last ride of the night in the second to back row. It's row 7. I wanted to go last ride of the night in the back row, but unfortunately a party had already taken the back row, and that was good to be the last train of the night. So I was able to snag row 7, and that was still pretty good. It's such an underrated coaster. I don't understand why people hate it so much. Underrated by coaster enthusiasts, I mean. It's overrated by most people, so it's kind of in that weird spot where I think the reality of the experience is somewhere in between what normal people think it's like the greatest coaster ever, and coaster enthusiasts think it's terrible for the most part. And I think it's somewhere in between. I mean, it's a good ride. It's nothing earth-shattering, but it's really good for what it is. All right, it is 8:20 now with the park closing at 8, but it won't be too long until we get into peak summer season and the park starts being open until 10 p.m. It does take Dollywood a very long time to get to that point for some reason. Most, Cedar Fair, Six Flags parks are open until 10 on weekends, all the way through the spring. Dollywood is not. We only get that privilege during the summertime, like really into the summertime. I think like June 15th is when we start operating up to 10 p.m. Not that I would be able to stay until 10 p.m. tonight anyway, because I have to be up really early tomorrow, but normally I'd be here on a Saturday, and then I would. Those ducks just chilling in the middle of the parking lot? Well, heck yeah, they are. What's up, guys? Careful, don't get hit by a car, okay? What's up? Bye. And hey, look, no more rain today, so the water level has gone down a lot. It was literally touching the bridge this morning. It's gone down quite a bit. Still a lot and still pretty muddy though. Yeah, it might be a little while before all that's drained away. On that note though, I'm very happy it did not rain at all for like all of today. I think this is the first theme park day outside of Universal this year that it was not, raining. It also did rain on the second day I was at Universal. First day it didn't though, and that was my only rain-free day up until today. It was still pretty wet today just from all the storms yesterday. So maybe sometime soon I can come to this park or any other park this year and it be just, good weather. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and head home, hopefully before it gets dark. But thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you're still watching this now, if you're new around here and you enjoyed my style and some of my insights or whatever, I would really appreciate a subscription. I'm working full-time this summer, but I am still hoping to hit plenty of parks on my weekends, since theme parks are one of my main passions that I love doing on the weekends. Hoping to head to Splash Country, Dollywood's water park this coming weekend, since I haven't been to a water park in a long time. And I do have the 2-park season pass to be able to go there with my pass. Really hoping to get to Holiday World soon, because that's one of my favorite parks that I feel like I have to go to every summer. And they have a new ride. I'm sure I'll return to Carowinds since I have a season pass. I'm gonna hopefully go to Six Flags Over Georgia for the first time with a friend that lives down there. That may be one of the only new parks I hit this summer that I haven't been to before, but I haven't been to Kings Island in a couple years, and I have a couple friends that are interested in doing that, so maybe we can make that trip happen later. And otherwise, I'm gonna try to do much better about having more reviews and kind of my thoughts on news and analysis and stuff like that. With the whole theme park industry, I'd like to branch out a little bit more and do some other stuff that really coaster focused channels are not doing as much, like lodging around the area, some other types of attractions other than just roller coasters like the Dolly Parton Experience today. So again, if any of that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to subscribe, we'd love to have you around. And otherwise, I'll catch a ride with you all again very soon.